So we are in part 7 of chapter number 23. We had done two methods of finding mean. The first method was the direct method. The second method was called the shortcut method. This is going to be the third method of finding mean. It's called the step deviation method. Mean finding using step deviation method. Again, I've used the same data which I used for the direct method and the shortcut method. Two columns were given, class intervals starting from 0 to 10, 10 to 20 and so on up to 40 to 50. And the frequencies, these are the frequencies which were given in the question. The rest of the calculation you will have to do looking at the formula. As I told you before, whichever method you use, you have to know the formula that you are going to use for finding the mean. In this method of step deviation, the formula that we are going to use is this. Mean is given as A plus sigma ft by sigma f into I. If you look at the formula, in the previous shortcut method also you found the A. Sigma f was there. New things which are there are t and I. I'll explain everything here. Where A stands for assume mean, you choose one of those numbers in the mid values as your assume mean. That's your A value. The next new thing that you find is T. T is actually D divided by I. Now D you had found in the previous method. D was actually x minus A. That means mid value x minus A is assume mean. So you can get D. If you divide D by I, now I is new, I is here, I is also here. I stands for class width, width of each class interval. So if you look at this table which is here, these are the class intervals. I value is the width of each class interval. 0 to 10, the difference is 10. 10 to 20, the difference is 10. 20 to 30, difference is 10. Everywhere the difference is the same. 10 is the difference. That is your I value. So note down this I value somewhere. I is equal to 10. If this was 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15 and so on. First class interval is 0 to 5, which means the difference is 5. 5 to 10, difference is 5. So everywhere the difference would be 5, which means your I value becomes 5. So that you will note down somewhere. Okay. So in our case here, I value is 10. Okay. So going back to the formula again. So A is assume mean. Sigma ft you have to find. For that you have to find T. T is D value divided by I value. For that you have to find D value. D is given as x minus A. X is the mid value of each class interval minus your assume mean. And I is the class width. So these are the things that you have to substitute here. So the next thing that you will find in your table, these two were given. The third one is the mid value of each class interval. Mid value between 0 and 10 is 5, 10 to 20 is 15, 25, 35, 45. This is what we get are your x values. Now you have to get assume mean, A value. So one of these you have to choose. I'll choose the one which is in the middle. That one is your A value. So A is 25. That's done. The next column that you will find is D value, because to find T value you have to know D value. So next column is finding D value. D is given as x minus A. These are your x values minus A value. That is, first x value is 5 minus A value is 25. 5 minus 25 is minus 20. 15 minus 25 is minus 10. 25 minus 25 is 0. 35 minus 25 is 10. And 45 minus 25 is 20. You got all the D values. Our next column is finding T. T you get by dividing D with I. You know D values, these are the D values. And I value I have written here is 10. So divide all these which are here by 10. So minus 20 divided by 10 is minus 2. Minus 10 divided by 10 is minus 1. 0 by 10 is 0. 10 by 10 is 1. And 20 by 10 is 2. So these are your T values. And The last column that you have to find is, if you look at the formula, you need A is here, sigma f, add up all the frequencies, sigma f is 50, I value I have already written here, I is 10, and the only thing that you have to find is sigma ft, which means you have to multiply frequency with t value, f with t values. F is here, t is here, multiply both of them. 8 into minus 2 is minus 16, 10 into minus 1 is minus 10, 9 into 0 is 0, and 12 into 1 gives you plus 12. I have written positive values separately, 12. Then 11 into 2 gives you 22. Negative values are here, positive values are here. Add up all this, that will give you sigma ft. Minus 16 minus 10 is minus 26, and these two together is 34. 34 minus 26 will give you it. That's your sigma ft value. Now, in the formula, you substitute these values. So, the mean is, this is the formula that we are going to use. A value we found was 25, that's 25, plus sigma ft value is 8, divided by sigma f value is 50, into I value is 10. Okay. Now, you can simplify this, the 0 gets cancelled, and then 8 divided by 5 will give you 1.6, 25 plus this gives you 1.6, add both of them, that will give you 26.6. This was the same mean value for the previous two methods which I showed you. Okay. That is your step deviation method. And the homework using this method, in the previous case also, whatever homework I have given, you have to use the method which I taught you. Okay. This homework is using, for all these questions you will use the same method, that is step deviation method. Exercise 23B, question numbers 16, 20, 35, 38 and 40.